Hello, everyone, and welcome to Atelier John F. Klemmer, where you can learn how to create your own personal patterns to make clothes that fit no matter your size. Take a look at my previous videos and download my size chart for free to get started. In this video, I'm going to show you how to construct a blazer jacket. The only difference from the basic jacket is that in this pattern, there is an extra panel. The blazer jacket is, as always, based on your own measurements and calculations. There is endless possibilities to design your own version if you combine my different videos. The blazer pattern is constructed in a numeric order, starting with 1 and a long vertical line to the right on your cardboard. From 1 to 2, you measure the back height plus an addition of 2 to 3 centimeter. From 1 to 3, you measure down the back length. And from 1 to 4, you measure the hip depth. And from 1 to 5, the length of the jacket. From all these points, draw perpendicular lines to the left. And from point 3, you measure 2 centimeters in to point 6. And the same from point 4, 2 centimeters in to point 7. And you continue down to 8. Draw center back by connecting all these points from 1 down to 7 and 8. To the left of point 2, you now have point 9. From here, measure the back width plus an addition of 1 to 1.5 centimeters. And this is number 10. From 10 to 11, you measure the armhole width minus 2.5 centimeter for the side seam. From 11 to 12, you measure 2.5 centimeter back to the front armhole line. From 12 to 13, you put the measure of the chest width plus an addition of 1 to 2 centimeter. All these additions depends on your body shape, which you have analyzed in advance. So you use the bigger measure if you have a big bust, the smaller measure if you have a narrow back, and the same for the arm width. If you have a full arm or a thin arm, you put the right measure here. Now, before we continue, take a control measure from 9 to 13 and check if it aligns with half of your chest width plus the addition that you used, just to make sure that you have enough room in the pattern to move. From 13 to 14, measure 1/10 of the chest width plus half a centimeter. Now draw perpendicular vertical lines from all these points. from 10 up and down, from 11 down all the way, and again from 12 and 13 up and down, and 14 also up and down. Next, mark the neck measure from point 1 to 15, and from here 2 centimeters perpendicular up to point 16. Draw the neckline with a curved ruler like that, and continue 1 centimeter up. From the crossing point of this horizontal line and the back width line, you mark 17, go 1 to 1.5 centimeters down for the angle of the shoulder point, which becomes 18. Connect point 16 and 18 and extend it 1 to 1.5 centimeters out to point 19. Again, these additional measures that you use here depends on your shoulder angle and your shoulder width. Divide the line from 10 to 18 in two and draw a perpendicular line back to center back here for the coming incision. On the shoulder, mark 3 to 5 centimeter down from the neck point. Draw a perpendicular line to the line that you just drew here, a perpendicular line up. This is the end point of the armhole dart. That is 1 to 1.5 centimeters wide here at the armhole. Connect it to dart legs and extend them 1 centimeter out. From point 10 and up, measure a quarter of 10 to 18. So again, half, which becomes 0.20. Measure 1.3 centimeter out from here. This is 0.21 and a connection point for the coming sleeve. This same measure from 10 to 20 you use at the front piece from point 12 up to 22. And also mark 1/3 of the armhole width from 12 to the front sleeve connection point up here. So there's two measures, the one you have here and the one for the connection point to the sleeve. Again, From 12 and up, you put the measure from 10 to 18 minus 2 centimeter and mark it as 0.23. Next, mark the waistline mid-front as 24. From here, you measure the front length 2 up, and it becomes 25. Draw a perpendicular line to center front. From here, this is 0.29. Now from 25 and down, put the measure of the bust depth 2 for the coming incision. As 26. From the points 23 and 25, you draw small curves with the center in 0.12 for 23. Use a pen and a piece of thread and make a circle like that. And the same from 26 as a center, and draw a curved line. From point 23, measure 1/10 of half the chest circumference out on the curved line and mark it as 27. Connect this point with a guideline to 22. Now measure the back shoulder and transfer this measure minus 1 centimeter from 27 until it hits the curved line up here. This is 0.28. At 0.29 center front, measure 1 to 1.5 centimeter to the right and mark it as 29A. From 29A, you put the neck width measure to 0.30. And again, from 29A and down, you put the neck measure, the neck width measure, down plus 1.5 to 2 centimeter and mark it 31. And again, from 29A towards 0.12, you put the neck width measure plus 5 to 8 millimeter. Draw the front neckline curve through these 3 points with the curved ruler. Now measure the length from 0.30 to 25 and use this from 0.28 down to 32. So you have the length that you took here on each side. Now connect point 32 with the bust point at 26 and measure the length. Transfer this measure from 26 and up on the other side, and you get 33. Connect point 33 with point 30. And you have the front shoulder with the bust incision. Draw the armhole like this with your curved ruler. You place it at 27 and let it hit point 22 down to the sideline. Between the 27 and 22 you had a guideline, and you had a guideline and you measured 1 centimeter in to get the right curve for the front armhole. And continue on the other side with the curved ruler, hitting point 21 up to the shoulder dart points here and up where you have the shoulder width on the back. Next step is to create a side seam and the incisions in the waistline to make the pattern fit your body shape. Take a quarter of your waist circumference and measure from point 34 towards center front in the waistline. So a quarter of your waist circumference from 34 to 35. From this point, you measure half of your waist circumference back again, plus 5 to 6 centimeter back towards center back, and mark it as 36. This measure from 36 to 6 is the measurement that needs to be removed in the waistline to make the pattern fit. Where the same vertical line at 34 crosses the hip is point 38. Take the measurement from up here, 34 to 35, again, and put it from point 38 plus 2 centimeter, and mark this new point as 39. From 39, you measure half your hip circumference back plus 3 to 4 centimeter, probably past center back, and mark it as 0.40. The measure between 7 and 40 at the hip is the measurement that is going to be added on the sideline to make the room that is needed. The extra width from 36 to 6 is going to be distributed around the sideline and the back width line. At the sideline, raise the waistline 1 centimeter up and distribute 1/3 of the measure from here. And at the back width line, raise the waistline 0.5 centimeter up and distribute the rest through 2/3 of this measure around this line. The missing width between 7 and 40 is added around the hip line on the sideline. Now you can draw the sideline from point 11 through these new points. At the waist and the hip line. From this line you go straight down, you only curve it the first part from here according to your shape. And again here, curve the 2 lines down to this point and then straight down. And connect up to 0.21. Before drawing the front incision, draw a new long line 1 to 1.5 centimeter to the right of 0.26. Not as I did here, but 1 to 1.5 down. Then distribute the measurement from 0.35 to 0.37 around this line in the waist. Take the measurement from 39 to 41 and distribute it around 40, this point at the hip at 42. Connect this point up to 26 on each side. The full length of the front piece is 0.5 centimeter longer than the rest. And you curve that up to the side seam here. If you want pockets, place them down from the waistline, 8.5 centimeter here and 8 centimeter here, and draw a line. At the center front, I forgot to tell you, from 13 you connect up to 29 before you made the front neckline. At last, remove 1 centimeter from the front shoulder. So you go down 1 centimeter down and use the new shoulder here and here. And what you take away here, you put onto the back shoulder. So you go 1 centimeter up on the back shoulder. And here I had the 2 options with the armhole dart. I transferred it, I closed it and put it here up to the shoulder instead. You cannot have both. Either make a cut all the way over or close it and transfer it to the shoulder. For the sleeves, you can use the same recipe that I have demonstrated in a previous video for the dress, but with the new armhole measures from this pattern, of course. That is the armhole height from here and here that you add and divide in 2, and then you measure the full circumference of the armhole and divide it in 2 and use those measures for the sleeve pattern that I showed you how to measure in the previous video for the dress and sleeve pattern. And the last thing I want to say is that I transferred this point up here at 11, 1 centimeter to the right, as well as the point up here, 1 centimeter, and even out the new lines to have a better fit. Again, it depends on your figure if you need to do that. So you need to make a trial and see how it looks before deciding to move this line 1 centimeter this way, here and here. I hope it wasn't too difficult to follow along. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know how your blazer pattern turns out, and don't hesitate to reach out if you encounter any problems or if you have any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. It takes time to prepare and make these videos, so if you want to learn and see more, support my channel by liking, commenting and subscribing. Thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you in my next video about the 2-seam sleeve. Until then, bye for now.